expensive is we have it here. By the way, that's the personal shopper line. I want you all to save that number. We have spoiled you. That's okay. We like doing it. We live to do that. We do it better than anybody else in the business right now. But the secret's out. Spinel. It's long been a collector's stone. For example, the Black Prince ruby, most famous Spinel of all time, right? They thought it was a ruby until modern gemological techniques caught up in the 18th century, where they wait a second, Spinel is not a ruby. This is red because Spinel comes in a variety of colors. But it formerly was just sort of, it hid in the shadows, posing as others. And the Black Prince ruby was a very, very substantial, what they thought, ruby. It ended up being a red Spinel. And the crown jewels, right? For the longest time, it was one of the most revered, and still is. So then the word starts getting out. Now it's typically among collectors in the beginning, but now, having just recently joined, the ranks of Alavine or your Peridot, the secret's out. So what's that going to mean for you? It's going to mean that demand's going to go up because more stores are going to want to have it. More online stores are going to want to have it. Everybody's going to want to get their hands on it. And the next thing you know, there's going to be somebody, a very talented designer, or maybe even not a talented designer, maybe just somebody with a really big celebrity name that's going to put their initials on something that says Black Spinel in their Black Spinel line, which will be probably not half as impressive as what you're going to see today. And it's going to go through the roof. Demand will increase, and eventually it'll hit maximum, peak force. And what's that going to do? Well, it's going to drive up the price. I don't have a crystal ball, but as Adam Carolla once said, I have a crystal brain that thinks logically, and that's probably what's in store for this. Because you get the luster, you get the look of a diamond without having to pay the price tag. So that's a beautiful thing. That's automatic in demand. Now, that's enough of my soapbox here. Let's talk about how you're going to go about procuring your Black Spinel today. All right? Now, if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and even TikTok, you're just going to put, the first item we're going to show is going to be this amazing bracelet. We're starting off with all guns blazing. This normally would be a piece de resistance, but I wanted to start the show off with a firework. Now, this is going to be shop 1. You're going to put that in the comments section right down below. Okay? Shop 1. The next item, guess what that's going to be? Shop 2. The third item, shop 3. Fourth item, shop 4, unless we specify otherwise. Sometimes we'll throw in an audible and mix it up a little bit. If you have questions or want, okay, that's you, right?
Yes.
And yeah, I'd like to repeat that. So actually, I'm just going to read the lines there like a. Oh man, it went by too fast. The point of his text to you all was, if you have any questions, if I go too fast on something, too slow on something, always feel free to put in the comment section. We welcome that. We're here for you. And I'll try not to yap as much once we get into the nitty-gritty of the program. But back to how you go about finding out more information about a particular item. This first item is going to be that amazing. Now, that is not an itty-bitty tennis bracelet, okay? That is a solid, these are huge stones. The luster is incredible. You're going to put in there shop 1. It's the first item we showed. Shop 2, so on and so forth. Now, the only difference is, with our TikTok friends, we're going to send you back a link that's going to have, basically, it's going to have a 7-digit number. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so it's going to have a 7-digit number that you're then going to go to Shop LC. So just remember, if TikTok, go to Shop LC. We'll put in shop whatever, shop 1, for example, here. You're going to want to do that anyway. This is super affordable. But put that in the comment section. Click on that. And then we're just going to send you the SKU number, what is called a SKU number. It's a 7-digit number. You go to shoplc.com and put that in the search, and it'll pop right up, and then you're good to go. For everybody else, it redirects you. Now, we're trying to work that out with our TikTok friends. When all else fails, could you put up the number that you had up for ever? Call our personal shopper line. This is exclusive to the Shop LC live stream. Okay, it's going to get you in touch with a human being. They are fantastic. And if you get more than one item, you probably can talk them into giving you just a little bit extra off. We're going to give you a lot off, though. We're going to give you a 25% bonus today. We're going to take off 25% using the code LIVE25, but everybody should save that number. I'm telling you, you want to do that. You want to do it. That's not the same number that we give you on TV either. That's a totally different one, exclusive to the live stream. So one last look, and let's get into this killer bracelet. You guys ready to see some cool stuff?
Mm-hmm.
just getting started. All right, so I'm going to try to stifle myself. A lot of times I'll end up yapping so much, kind of like I did at the beginning of this show, that we end up not being able to get to everything. Now, I'm determined not to let that happen today, okay? So you hold me to it there, brother, okay?
Mm-hmm,
got the wonderful Mr. Elias here today. He's fantastic. Johnny on the spot. Now, what are we looking at here? This is 40 carats. This is not costume jewelry. This is 40.2 carats of, and that's just in the 7 1/4, of beautiful, matched, mated, and calibrated, all specified to the exact same, of gorgeous black spinel. Look at the luster. Look at that.
Now we are going to do all 3 sizes at the same price.
That's right. So in other words, that, do you hear what Elias just said? Now that's interesting because dudes, I'm going to invite y'all to come in. You know, Father's Day. So for all the guys that are watching or ladies that are watching, maybe you want to get something for the guys. Can wear a little bling, and we can wear a tennis bracelet. My buddy Matt Wexon, you know him as a host here. Most of you do. Dude he was like a lineman. Tight end at Tennessee. Georgia beat him, but you know, SEC. He's serious business. He was a bad A, you know. Dude, where's the tennis bracelet? Looks super cool. I'm very jealous of it. I wish I had one like it. But Black Spinel, this works for the guys too. I say all that to say that. Now, it's also got this really cool design on it. So you've got this like double-headed snake design. Look at this. How cool is that? Now, what you're going to be getting here, it's going to be from our Keras collection. What does that mean? Well, typically, it's one of our best designer groups, in my personal opinion, here, where we manufacture a lot of our jewelry, actually, our parent company. But the Keras collection gives you the look of luxury. It's got a platinum bond. It's usually going to be over either a brass or sometimes, I think, primarily brass, but sometimes can be copper. But they'll put this platinum bond over it. What's that going to do? Now, that's going to make it a hypoallergenic proposition. It's going to make it antimicrobial, sweat, resistant proof. So that platinum bond will be infused with the base metal, giving you a very, very expensive look. And platinum, as you all know, is one of the more expensive of the precious metals. Okay, so you've got that going for it in terms of not going to be irritating anybody's skin if you happen to give it as a gift. You've got this really nice under gallery there, which makes it feel smooth, like butter on the skin. And I have big hairy gorilla arms, and it still feels so fantastic. Okay, now they're going to say it's a 7.5, but I've been hearing, and I kind of did a deep dive on this because I'd always thought that Spinel was a 7.5 too. I checked several different sites today, and most of them, I think one said 7, but I was like, who's right? Based on the sites that I use, GIA has it at an 8, from what I can tell. They're the premier, right? So I'm going with that. 8 on the most hardness scale. That's very, very high in terms of the scratch resistant. Actually, it does say 8. Why did I just see 7.5? Oh, that might have been for the other gemstones. Oh, could we scroll down just a little bit further?
Yeah, that's the champagne zircon.
Oh, that's the champagne zircon in the snake's eyes. That's a 7.5. Okay, and now we're back.
Here's that snake head right there, right behind you.
Because I was looking at our details on this. Because basically, what we're talking about, folks, you've got 20 points of the champagne zircons. You see that in the snake eyes? How cool is this design? You've got 2 snake heads, right? The detail on those, super nice. But it's subtle, right? You've got the lobster claw clasp, or the big spring-loaded, kind of a lobster claw. It's large, and I like that. I like that about it because it kind of keeps up the continuity and actually looks really cool if it happens to slink around your wrist. Now, at the moment, we've got these in 3. Please tell me we've got a good bit of them. I'm hoping we're going to have a good bit of product because Black Spinel is very affordable. We're doing this for $59.99, ladies and gentlemen.
We have the quantity on all 3 sides.
Okay, it's 44 carats of Black Spinel. All natural. This is a genuine gemstone. We get testimonial after testimonial after testimonial from people saying, don't think I'm ever going to wear my black diamonds again. My Black Spinel looks better. I mean, it's anecdotal, but we get a lot of them. And typically they don't get their black diamonds from here. They get them elsewhere from, the expensive retailers or the jewelers that sell a lot of black diamonds. Look, black diamonds are expensive. This is an affordable alternative, and you get the luster, you get the durability. It checks so many boxes, and you can get a big group of them. Ladies and gentlemen, let's jump in and grab that. This one's going to be shop one. I've got to move. Now, if you get... Wait, does that come in with the earrings?
Yes.
You're kidding me.
Texas twofer, yes.
Yeah.
A good way to get that, either gift them the bracelet and you get the earrings.
Texas twofer. So, not only... I had to put on the hat for that, right? Not only are you getting the bracelet, you're getting the matching studs. Stop it. Forget about it. No way. That is amazing. Gentlemen, if you have your ears pierced, go for it. If I was cool, I'll stuff my earbuds in. If I still hadn't, or if I ever had my ears pierced, it's almost enough to make me want to do it. But guys, if you do, go for it. You have my blessing. But that is a fantastic look. Ladies and gentlemen, either way, gentlemen, you can rock that bracelet. And I totally would. Platinum bond. Shame on me for not knowing that.
Now, when they comment shop one, they will see other options available. Prices will vary on the other options.
Okay. Okay, so they have what? We have green onyx. Okay. I'm liking it. But green onyx is not as expensive. We got a Brazilian smoky quartz, also not as expensive, yeah. So that makes sense. That tracks. All right, so $59.99. Here's the good news, though. You have the code LIVE25. That's actually going to make it lower than what the other ones are now.
Correct.
So we're going to take that 59. You're going to punch in. You're going to do that at the checkout section. There's going to be a promo code area. It's going to be on the right side when you're doing it online. This is going to be shop one. We're still on shop one because I couldn't process it. A, the fact that we're doing the bracelet so low. B, the fact that we included the studs also with that platinum bond, with the big disc back, so they're not going to droop down on your ears either, ladies and gentlemen. Look, those disc backs, those will run like $6-7 at a jewelry store. Now, after you use the code LIVE25, well, now that 59 is going to magically become $44.99. Here's one of the things I don't like about that. I'm going to need you to hold. Do we have enough to go around?
Yes, we do.
Okay, I'm going to want you to hold that in your queue. If you have to go somewhere, I want you to go ahead and just get it. But I would like for us to get over, because what just happened is any item that is, or amalgamation, accumulation of items, that is over $49.99 is going to get you free shipping. I want to save you as much money as I possibly can. So what I'm going to ask you to do, and I shouldn't do this, I should just go in for the kill and say, look, you need to capture this. But if we have enough to go around, I'm fine with you sitting on it for a second, unless you have to be somewhere. And let's wait and get one more item, because there's going to be some really affordable stuff here. And if it tips it over that $49.99, you don't have to pay maybe, $5 or $6 shipping. But if you don't care about that, then go for it and go about your business. I'm not mad at you. You're getting both, though. Understand that. That is a fantastic deal. All right, so that's shop one. You get them both. And those are big rounds, too. Gosh, those solitaires have to be, those are at least a carat. Matter of fact. Now, could you scroll back up to the top two real quick? Because I usually tell people about the budget pay, and I'm assuming...
You're doing 2 budget pays.
You've got 2 budget pays. Okay, so basically the budget pay will get down to, 20 and some change?
Yes, 22.
22. Seems like a lot for a budget pay, right? But it's only 2 budget pays. It's not the normal 5. All right, now, yeah, these are at least 7 millimeters. So you're talking at least a carat on each of those. All right? They're ideal. Ladies, and, like I said, gentlemen, if you have your ears pierced. So, but definitely on the bracelet. And if you need to extend or have a jeweler take a link out, any jeweler could probably do that too. But right now, at the moment, we seem to have most of the sizes from 6.5, 7.25, and 8. They're all the same price. Go for it. Good get right there. And a Texas too. All right, so we're going to move on. That's shop one. Shop two. And one of the things you're going to notice about these is because you get such amazing luster, such really good, it's a very reflective gemstone, right? because it takes a polish very nicely. All right. One of the things you're going to notice is that most of these will probably look really cool together. So I don't think there's necessarily. I mean, some of these are going to be a little bit more different, sort of in a different vein, maybe a little bit different style. But I think much like if you've seen our Bali collection, Bali sort of silver line, a lot of those items look really good together. I think a lot of these are going to match up and sync up really well. Like this next pendant and ring combo. We did it again.
Texas Twofer. We're bringing in the joy.
It's another Texas Twofer. I'm trying to do that whistle thing that McConaughey did. It's another Texas Twofer. That's what it is. Okay, so not only I don't even know which one's better. They're both brilliant.
Why not get all four?
Huh?
Why not get all four? Shop one.
Yeah, you
shop
should.
Two, you get 4
Wait
items.
a second. You absolutely should. Now, the thing I like about this is you're kind of getting, to me, it has a little bit of it looks like a vintage piece. Mm-hmm. It looks like something you would see at a very expensive, because you do, once again, in this one, you have the stainless steel, right? It's a dead ringer. Stainless steel is a dead ringer for platinum. I've held the two next to each other. It's uncanny. This looks like it because it's not the highest. It's not as high of a shine as a reflective shine as you get from silver, right? But neither is platinum. So it's just one hair down, and that's the reason why I love things that are in stainless steel. It's the metal of the future. Why do I say that? Well, it's hypoallergenic. It's strong. It requires, it's very difficult. In other words, this is not going to be a sizable ring unless not in the moment at least, because there's very few manufacturers or people that work with metals that are even qualified to work with stainless steel. So we're one of the few, at least that I know of, the few groups that have a manufacturing facility. There's a couple others, I think 2 or 3 out there now, and I think they keep. There's more and more because it's a very expensive process. Our parent company is one of the largest manufacturers of jewelry in the world. All right, I think top 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, but it's definitely up there. Based out of India, publicly traded company. How does that affect you? How does that behoove you? Answer: because basically you're cutting out all of these middlemen. You're cutting out all these people that along the way to your traditional retailers, say your mall jewelers, even a lot of your online dealers. They're still having to go through a middleman to get to the middleman to get to the Samson, to use a half-baked metaphor. Now, you're basically going directly to the source by going with us, because they're giving it to us for a great price. We're putting a small markup on it, and then you get it for a killer price. And that's the reason why a lot of dealers, quite frankly, your mall kiosks, private dealers, for example, I was doing a show today with Courtney, and we can get lab-grown diamonds a lot cheaper than what a very big wig around here who sells them for a big markup. I'm not mad at him. But he ended up buying something from us today, a very expensive item, that was just a great price. It was expensive, but it was well worth what we sold it to him for, right? So that's what we're talking about. You're basically cutting out all the middlemen. It's a pretty beautiful thing. Now, take a look at this. So, we got 2 of these. So these are basically going to be the same profile, give or take, right? A couple points. What is that? That's going to be 15 carats. So you're getting a big cocktail ring, kind of a vintage style look, sort of Art Nouveau. Yeah, maybe borderline Art Deco, but I'd say probably more Nouveau. Got a nice birdcage style design there. It definitely looks like a vintage sort of estate piece. But then you've got the matching pendant, basically going to give you the exact same look. Now these are in stainless steel. So again, it's immovable. It requires temperatures up to like 1700 Fahrenheit just to work with this, to melt this. It's like a melting point really, really high. I think platinum's at like 3000 Fahrenheit, but still very, very high compared to things like, silver, gold, what have you. Now, 15 divided by 2, do that math. It's going to be 7.5 carats roughly a piece. All right? Again, 8 on the most hardest scale. You got a 14 by 10 on each of these. That is a nice size. It's not ostentatious. It's not gaudy. It's classy, but it is a big, bold look. Take a look. And that luster, your black obsidian, your black onyx, can't touch it. Most diamonds can't. Can't touch that luster. Can't touch this. All right? Absolutely gorgeous. And the matching pendant, you get them both, and you get them for $59.99. Now, as we saw in the last presentation, this is going to be shop 2. It's, again, a Texas twofer. It's wildly affordable, and it's going to be at $44 and some change, if I'm not mistaken. Was that the previous?
Correct. No, this is the current auction.
Yeah, no, but the previous, it's the same price.
Yes.
So, basically, it'll be, I think, $44 and some change. $44.99, so $45. Now, if you wanted to get this and the previous item, you could split it into 2 budget pays, which are going to be probably about, basically it's going to end up being $44.99 for you to get all of it. Because it's broken down into, you're just basically taking it into 2 bites. Does that make sense to everybody? And don't forget the code LIVE25 in the promo code section. I hope I'm not making things too complicated. But keep in mind, you're going to be getting both the ring, and I know I'm not a hand model, but I do have big hands, I should say, and that's going to give you a big, bold look. So, ladies, it's going to be a lot smaller, more than likely, on your hands, they'll be much more attractive on your hands too, I imagine. But that is a fantastic look, and again, it's virtually the identical profile. We're going to move on. That's shop 2. Got enough to go around?
Yes, we do.
Excellent.
And real quick, let's mention our sweepstakes.
Let's talk about it. Well, on June 25th, my birthday, we will be giving away a Rolex Datejust 41. In the meantime, what can you do? Well, it's free for you to register for that. You should do it every single day. Why every day? Well, we have a gents ring coming up, by the way. Why every day? Because every day between now and the 25th that you register, not only do you have a chance to win $100, we're going to be giving away on the daily, and your odds are pretty good. We're going to be giving away on the daily. I can't do it either. I want to live vicariously through you guys. I hope you win. I hope our customers here win. Let us know if you do, or if you have before. Now, on the daily, you register. Free for you to do it. Just do it once a day. Go to the website, shoplc.com. Ultimately, the grand giveaway is that. But daily, we're going to be giving away 100 Shop LC bucks. $100, you could have gotten both of the first 2 items if you had that 100 Shop LC bucks, right? Because both of those came out to $45, and you still have $10 left over. Pretty cool, right? Yeah. So that's going to be a daily giveaway. We're giving away 100 Shop LC bucks, but each day we're going to be giving away another very expensive prize. For example, here today we've got these. These are in platinum too, by the way. This is moissanite. Moissanite, of course, many of you know, lab-created gemstone. Not inexpensive, a beautiful gemstone. More fire, more brilliance, more scintillation, more sparkle, typically, than that of your most expensive diamonds. These are 100-faceted. You know what kind of sparkle you get from probably one of the most sparkly gemstones in the world when you put up 100 facets? Not just your round brilliance, like 57 facets. 100 facets each. Like a Portuguese round, not quite, but I think that's like 200 something, but it's a heck of a lot of sparkle. Those are beautiful, and that just goes to show moissanite, it's coming to its own, because look, you're putting it in platinum. They got the screwbacks, probably. So very expensive metal. Put the best in the best. That's a very, very good set right there. They say $249 value, not bad. But they're giving that away too. That's, for example, today's. I know it's probably going to be like iPhones here and there, like a TV, things like that. So each day they're going to give away a smaller prize, and ultimately you're going to get 1 entry per day. So you want to come every single day, shoplc.com, and you want to ultimately have at least 1 entry per day leading up to June 25th, when we're going to do the grand prize drawing for that Datejust 41. I used to sell those at my former network. We sold them as estate pieces. That watch in particular would have probably been back, and this is almost 15 years ago. And it was as an estate piece, and they had really great prices, so it was a really big markdown item. We sold those for like $5,000 back then. Adjusted for inflation, that'd be like $10,000 a day, and you're getting a brand new one, so that's another times probably 2.5. So you're getting basically a $25,000 watch. Brand spanking new. It's a beautiful thing. All right. So everybody, males, females, everybody needs to go every day to shoplc.com. It's a beautiful thing. All right. And Gosh, if you just accidentally win one of the other 2 prizes we give away daily, sweet. Share it with me and Elias. Now, that being said, we're going to move on. Now, finally, something that's not a Texas twofer. Or does it like transform into something? No. Okay, so what you're getting here, this is going to be one of our largest that we have in terms of the pendants. This is a big one, and a good one.
Chain included as well.
Chain comes with it. Oh, by the way, the chain came with that last one too, yes?
Correct, yes.
Okay, this is shop 3. Now, what's the difference, you might ask, and I shall show you, between this and the previous one. Now, the previous one came with a ring. It's not quite as large. This is going to be definitely a bigger profile, definitely a little bit more of a modern contemporary. I felt like that one has kind of a vintage feel, which is super cool. But this one's more, I feel like if you're into the more the modern contemporary and you want more of a cocktail pendant, this is definitely going to be for you. Again, you've got the Black Spinel. This is your August birthstone too. I know I mentioned that at the beginning, but we've had people filtering in and out, all right, throughout the show. So I want to let you know this has joined Olivine, or your, I don't know what I was going to call it by. It's for the Peridot as your August birthstone. So that gives it prestige when you know you've made the big leagues when you've been added to as an official birthstone. All right, it's rarely done. I think the last time it was done before that was probably Tanzanite got inducted as a December birthstone. Problem is when you induct super rare gemstones, and believe it or not, Black Spinel, pretty rare gemstone, much more rare than say black onyx or obsidian. Probably right up there with diamonds, I would say. I don't know, you make an argument. I'm not 100% sure on that one, though, so don't quote me on that. But what I will say is you can quote me on this. This is going to be going out of here, and it's shop 3. It's a 9-carat 20. It's a big one. It's going to be in stainless steel. You got the platinum bond here, though. All right, so, let's see. Okay, so the actual pendant is going to be the Karis piece with the platinum bond. You're getting the stainless steel chain. So basically, you're getting, and this is perfect for me to illustrate. Look at the chain, and then look at the mounting. Very, very similar. All right? Just in terms of the uncanniness of how stainless steel definitely mimics, I think, the look of platinum. And it's almost the same strength. Very, very strong metal. Now, 16 by 12, we're doing this for $39.99. You're going to take $10 off that because you've got the code LIVE25. It's going to give you a big, bold look. You're going to get it for $29.99. Now, if you wanted to couple this with, say, the first one, or if you want to couple it with the second one, maybe you want just a different look in the pendant from the ring. What did I do with that ring? It's right there. Now, this is shop 3. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say this is probably either the second or third largest that we have in our inventory. It is a big, big stone. But look at that luster. Look at that watery, just like glossy like finish on that. It takes a great, great shine. It has fantastic mirror-like luster. That glassy look that you get from it. I mean, I've sold a lot of black diamonds, and most of them they don't take a polish quite like this does. It's resistant to cleaving. It's a very strong gemstone. It checks all the boxes, especially right now when black gemstones are more popular than ever for both men and women. So, that being said, shop 3. We're going to move on just because I don't want to run out of time. I think we're making pretty decent time now.
Yes. We're about to get into
All right, I'd rather us have plenty of time at the end. That way we can go back over and I can do some highlights and we can field some questions. I do want to take this a little bit of time right now. I've got a little break. This is a great get right there. But I think this would be the one to put you over the top if you want to get this, shop 3 and shop 1. That would put you over that $49.99 threshold, so you're not paying anything on shipping. But if you don't care about paying maybe $4 or $5 on shipping, no big deal. But keep this number handy. That's the personal shopper. So if you're getting more than one item, I want to call them. They can sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, but I always encourage you. Call them if you're getting more than one item or two. Maybe if you're getting 3 especially. See if they won't take a little bit extra off. Can't
Shout
promise.
out to Nancy joining us on Facebook, commenting
Hey, Nancy.
GG Rockets, go Rockets.
GG Rockets, go. Is that the colors I'm wearing?
I'm not sure, but
GG Rockets.
yeah, that is a comment from Nancy joining us on Facebook.
Okay, Nancy. I'm not tracking, but I like the spirit. Nancy's a former cheerleader, yes?
Yes.
I suspect. GG Rockets, go Rockets.
I can think of the Houston Rockets. That's what I think.
Maybe so. Now we're in Austin, so but I do like the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, I do too. Houston Astros too.
That's right. Who did they just have Akeem Olajuwon?
I think they did.
Or was that Mutombo? No, I always get him into Mutombo. No, Mutombo was on the Nuggets. No, yeah, they had the Akeem Olajuwon. He was a bad dude. 7 foot tall. He was in about the same time as Shaquille. He was a lot skinnier, but so he couldn't like box out as well as Shaquille. But I think he played for the Houston Rockets. Dude he was a force. He's like MVP a couple of years. And they won a championship too. But I digress. Now, that being said, take a look at these. One of the few pairs of earrings. Check that. So one, we've shown you one. This is going to be 2, 3, 4. All right, so we have 4 pairs of earrings. But this is going to be one of the few, check that, the only that has the lever backs. Lever backs, a very expensive upgrade. What do I like about these? Well, they're more subtle than what we've offered you so far, right? We've offered you a lot of big, bold looks. Now, you can get that still with Black Spinel and get it for an affordable price. The thing I like about these is you've got something that's elegantly simplistic. You've got a nice oval, but it's classy. It definitely is going to be in precious metal. Okay, a lot of what we're going to offer today is going to have precious or noble metal. For example, that platinum bond, right? But this is going to be solid sterling silver. So we've got the precious metal aspect. Again, the most highly reflective of all, I think, precious metals, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of the white metals. More so than platinum, even rhodium. Even a similar look, but it does oxidize after maybe a year or so, or depending on how often you're touching it with your hand oils and things like that. No big deal. You can get a little bit of silver cleaner. It'll be right back to new. Now, what is this going to be? It's going to be 2 of them. Obviously, you're getting 2 of them. You're getting 2 earrings, believe it or not. We're not just going to sell you one. No, it's going to be a carat 25 divided by 2. So you're looking at about 62.5 points a piece on each of these. You've got, again, the lever backs. Fairly expensive upgrade there. But that's just going to allow you to basically pop these on and off with ease. And they are, again, in sterling silver. But the thing I like about these is you've got kind of a believability factor in terms of the black diamonds. Now, again, the majority of black diamonds that I've sold, well, all of them have been more expensive than Black Spinel, as it maybe should be, right? It's a 10 on the most hardness scale as opposed to an 8. But also, almost all of them, and I've got a little bit of a runny nose here, folks. You're going to have to bear with me, just my right one. But also, I should point this out, I feel like the luster on Black Spinel of the majority of the ones that I've sold and had the opportunity and seen at the retail level has better luster. In other words, it has a better shine to it. I'm not here to make a judgment call one way or the other, but if it's between, a $200 pair and then the retail for a carat 25 of black diamonds in sterling silver, all things being equal, exact same cut, exact same look, exact same mounting, gosh, I got to think at least $300 to $400 for the black diamonds. We're offering these to you for $29, and then you've got the code LIVE25.
Correct.
So do that math. Coming out to $22.49.
No budget pays on this.
No budget pays, but it doesn't matter. It's already so low. $22.49. You can't get 2 value meals at a fast food restaurant for that. This is going to be shop 4. And we have enough to go around?
Yes, we do.
Yes, sir. That's what I like to hear. Now, while you're getting these, shop around some of the other offerings. I think there's a blue topaz. Those are all pretty inexpensively set up. To your heart's desire. But today, you'll be getting these at $22.49. Come on in, take advantage. We have enough to go around, yeah?
Yes, we do.
And we have 4.5 stars out of 5. That's a very good track record because we got 39 reviews on here. 4.5 with 39 reviews?
Yes.
That's statistically impossible. That shows, what does that mean? Well, let's do some math here very quickly. Because we have some time, right? I can just
Yes.
blow the it for just 2 seconds.
Yes.
All right, so if the average item here, I would say, this is anecdotal, but I've been here for about 3 years now. Exactly, I think. Just about exactly 3 years. Happy anniversary to me. I love it here, but because you get so much great deals. But let's see, the average item's probably got about 4. The average item probably is going to have about 4 reviews. All right, so to have 39, so if you have good reviews out of 4, that's still pretty solid too. But to have 39 reviews and still be at a 4.5, that tells me that people understand that there's great value in these. They have enjoyed them. They think it was worth the money. And then maybe one person maybe didn't get them shipped in time, and they got upset about that. More than likely. A lot of times it has to do with just and look, that's out of everybody's hands. Act of God sometimes with shipping, even with the USPS. There's no guarantees. But anyway, that's very impressive. For example, Berna V. Shop LC is the best place to buy great jewelry with the best prices and quality and variety. Love the Fridays for getting the great jewelry below $10. Shh. It's a well-kept secret. I got to work those Friday shows. It's hard because $10 is not very much money. If you have target goals, a little inside baseball here, but if you have target goals, it's very, very difficult when you have the least viewership in the overnight. So it's tough. But I love doing it because we get to bring you guys so much value. Now, $10. I watch LC every day. Thank you, LC. That's really sweet of her. She's great. Berna. I think I've seen her name a lot, and she gets some good deals there. Let's see, Valerie B. Pretty earrings made well easy. Earrings made well easy. Put on like the color of garnet. Like the color of garnet. Okay. Oh, was she talking about the garnet ones?
Yes.
All right, now we're muddying the waters. So I think with that, we're going to move on. But keep in mind, if in fact you want an item, this is going to be a nickel-free sterling silver, though. This is one of the few items that we have that's going to be in precious metal. This is going to be your jam. If you want something that is elegantly simplistic, this is going to be your jam. You're getting the dangles. You've got the lever backs. That's a nice upgrade. That's a fairly expensive upgrade. It's going to keep them nice and secure. You'll be able to do backflips with these on and not have to worry about them falling out. That is going to be your jam. We have enough of these to go around.
Yes, we do.
And this is going to have that believability factor because, look, it's not to say that you can't get a large black diamond, but if you're in the business of getting Spinel, Black Spinel in particular, as a substitute for a black diamond, of which it is a great one, because you get all the before mentioned things, right? You get all that. You get the really nice luster. You get a nice, it's like a glass-like finish. It's an all-natural gemstone, just like a black diamond typically is. Sometimes those black diamonds will be irradiated, and some of the Black Spinel, you'll see at some of the retail levels and some of the stuff that's sold online. Caveat emptor with that, but for the most part, you're getting something that's going to have a really rich, almost, in the case of everything that we're offering today, and I was doing a deep dive and looking at every piece before the show, they are all, it's almost like you sprayed them down with like a little bit of a mist, because they've got this wet-like finish. They take a shine very, very nicely. Better than, in my experience, all the black diamonds that I've sold, or majority of them, not everyone, I won't say that, because there was a couple that I sold, but they're very, very expensive, that were about on par with Black Spinel. This is just my anecdotal, personal observation, but what do I know? Well, this is about 13 years, so and sold thousands of diamonds and thousands of Black Spinels. So that being said, let's move on. These are amazing, very subtle, elegantly simplistic. So if somebody doesn't want necessarily a huge look, they want something a little bit more conservative, a little bit more kind of set back, but they want it in precious metal. They want something that's going to have that heirloom quality metal action. That's going to be your jam. Those are fantastic, and they're super duper affordable. You're getting them for less than $30.
Shop 4 on that item.
Shop 4 on that particular item. Shop 4. Great gift. Great for somebody that wants to not lose their earrings. Now, we get the other ones that we have. They're going to be in shepherd's silk. And you're going to be able to, shepherd's silk, you can clamp them. But I do like the lever backs. That's kind of a nice upgrade. Now, this next item. This, I think we're going to have to invite the gentleman to come in on this one.
For sure. I was
It's a
actually
pendant.
eyeing
Do you
that.
rock this one?
I would. I was actually eyeing it.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds me sort of the gents ring that we have coming up. That's going to be in un momento. But first, take a look at this. Now this, I think, brother man, this is going to have to be the biggest biggin that we have. This is the largest one I think we have in our inventory. It is a 30 carat for all intents and purposes. It's 29.5 carats. Got a big, nice cabochon. But again, look at the luster. Look at that mirror-like finish. All natural gemstone. And they're calling it a men's pendant. All right, well, I'm going to invite the ladies to come in. I was inviting gents to come in because we just don't have that much in way of gents jewelry, especially with Father's Day coming up. You should be able to get all this as long as you live in the continental U.S. and you can do build to ship to. So you can build it to yourself, ship it to whomever. Your dad's across the country, fair enough. But I think Father's Day, let's see, it's Memorial Day weekend. Father's Day is about a month after Mother's Day. That was last Sunday. No, Sunday before last. All right, so I think, would you check that for me, Mr. Producer? Because I'm going to find out. But I'm going to say, I don't think I'm going to have to go out on a very stretched out limb here to say, I think you're going to be able to get these and be pretty comfortable that you get them in time for Father's Day if you take advantage of it this week. Next week we're gonna be cutting it close. I think we'll be able to do it next week too.
So Father's Day is June 18th.
June 18th. Okay, cool. Because Mother's Day was a little bit earlier this year. I think it was
Mother's Day was the
11th.
on May 12th.
12th. Yeah.
May 11th. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, the 11th. All right. Cool. So yes, you should be able to get it in time, and maybe next week. But we're not going to have this next week. And the Live 25 code won't be activated next week. This is going to be Shop 5. We're calling it a Black Spinel men's pendant. But I think, ladies, if you like it, I'd not be opposed to that. It's a big one. You know? But if you're that person that wants, likes those big, bold looks, it's got a nice little rope-style finish. Doesn't have any foo-foo and no like sparkle surrounding it or anything like that. But, I mean, if you want something that's a little bit more... kind of got a Southwest vibe to it, doesn't it? With that rope style finish around it.
For sure. I like the beaded work around the framework.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's kind of I feel like it's maybe kind of a rope. Yeah, kind of gives it a Southwest vibe. You got a nice little bail there too. Now this is not coming with the chain. No worries. I mean, we got plenty of chains we can sell you on shoplc.com. But what you're getting is probably going to be one of the largest that we have in our entire inventory here, and we have literally thousands and thousands of pieces of jewelry. Again. Second, third largest manufacturer of jewelry in the world, our parent company. So that's why you're able to get this, not for $369, which it could easily be for this kind of carat weight. Look, you can get a big Black Spinel for a decent price, right? You can keep it under $1,000, even at the retail level. What you can't do is get a 29.5 carat, basically a 30 carat for all intents and purposes, for under $100 at any retail establishment that I've ever seen Black Spinel. And I haven't seen that many, quite frankly, but I think you're going to see a lot more popping up. And what that's going to do, and I kind of touched on this at the very beginning of the show, what I think that's going to do, more than likely, it's just basic laws of economics, right? When the supply, it's going to increase. Like, in other words, more jewelry stores are going to want it because it's August birthstone. It's an more affordable alternative to black diamonds. That secret's out now. It's almost got the durability. Comes in at 8 on the most hardness scale. Doesn't have a heavy cleavage, so it's super durable, everyday wearable, all that good stuff. That secret's out. August birthstone hype. Now everybody wants a Spinel come August or July, more than likely, in preparation for August. All that's going to drive up the demand. The demand's going to be really, really high, but the supply, majority of what we get is going to be Thai. It can be found in Myanmar. There's even some little pockets in Brazil. But it's a relatively rare gemstone for the most part. In terms of if we're talking about black onyx or black obsidian, it's much more rare than those. I would say it's on par with diamonds. It's just doesn't have the popularity. It doesn't have that name, diamond. That's got a great pedigree, right? Considered a precious gemstone. So... But
our Shop 5.
For my money, this is money. And gentlemen, definitely. We have it says in the name, the men's such and such. But ladies, jump in and grab that. It's Shop 5. How many do we have to go around?
We have exactly 6 dozen, so we do have the quantity.
Cool. I'm loving it. And see, look, we even have it on a female model. It looks fantastic on the ladies, but this will look cool on the gents too.
I definitely added it on a cord necklace.
Yeah. Yeah, and look, you guys can go at shoplc.com if you want to. You can grab, I think we have like leather cord necklaces too. Mm-hmm. They're not too terribly expensive. You can get them around $20. Don't quote me on that, but I think give or take. But call a personal shopper. Just say if you don't feel like scouring the website, but this is going to be shop 5, right?
Yes.
All right, so gentlemen. Well, they didn't take our own advice either, did they? Mm-hmm. They should have me. I should have been the model for that one. No, I'm just kidding. I could have been them. Used to do something back in the day. I was young and handsome. Now, that said, gentlemen, look what we got. We're going to continue the vein, and this is going to be, I think, the last gents piece that we have per se. There's a couple others I think that could maybe work for the gents. But as far as an actual gents ring, now, what are you getting with this one? This is very, very important because A, you're getting a big, big center stone. B, you're getting a cabochon. I like that cabochon because, look, we're talking about an opaque gemstone, okay? So I don't necessarily need the fastening. I like the fastening too. And I especially like that because I like a low profile typically. But this fits my gents ring profile, basically of a low profile, my criteria for it. My famous, world famous criteria for a gents ring. What is it? Please tell me you know. Oh my God, you're gonna break my heart, Fredo.
Low profile.
Yes, that's one. And
I can't think of the other.
Wide band. Relatively low profile. How dare you? We worked together for like 2 years.
I'll be honest, the low profile is the main thing for me.
You broke my heart, Fredo. I'm just kidding. I always say it like every day. It fits like a criteria for a gents ring. If I'm talking about if it could be like a ladies ring that I think could work as a unisex ring, that's what I'll say. It's like it's not world famous. So he shouldn't have known that. I'm busting his chops. But look at that. That is super cool.
It is. I like this piece.
But ladies, I wouldn't be mad at you either, though, because we have this in size 9.
Yes.
It's got a little sizing bar at the bottom too. It's just, I mean, it's a nice bold look. It's got a masculine look to it, but I think you got with all the round, everything's kind of rounded off. I like the bezel setting too. I'm always a huge fan of bezel setting, but why does bezel setting sometimes not work out, ladies and gentlemen? Answer: because I have a napkin. My right nostril's got like a runny nose.
Yes, I believe you got tissue.
My allergies.
There you go.
Because a bezel setting, I feel like with a lot of gemstones, especially if we're talking about a clear gemstone, you can lose a little bit of sparkle. And you'll have to forgive me. I'm just going to dap my nose a little bit.
Now, we do have other options available as well, too. Once they comment shop 6.
Okay, this is going to be shop 6, right?
Yes, they will see the other options available as well.
Okay, and you're going to see, it looks like a labradorite and either green onyx, or is that a malachite?
It is going to be...
It's a malachite.
Ooh! Malachite and labradorite.
Hey guys, get that malachite. Are they all the same price? Basically, $74, 79, give or take. That's... Now, I misled you guys earlier. How, Chris? No, it's not in a big way. This is actually a good thing. I thought, in looking at the preparation notes, I thought this is going to be one of the few. We've actually got several that we're coming up on that are actually going to be in precious metal. I thought the majority of these were going to be in stainless or in the platinum overlay. This is going to be rhodium over sterling silver. So, very quick tutorial. What is rhodium? It's in the platinum family of metals. In other words, I think there's about 5. I think it's osmodium, rhodium, platinum, of course, palladium. I'm missing one of them. There's 5 of them. Of those 5, one of the most expensive is rhodium. It comes at about for a troy ounce. I think it's a publicly traded commodity, much like a lot of your base, your precious metals, and it hovers anywhere. I've seen it's gone as high as I think 15 grand at one point per troy ounce. But right now it's been and it has been pretty steadily at about $4,000 to $5,000 per troy ounce. So rhodium. Very strong metal, precious white metal, a noble metal. What does that mean? It just means that the reason why they put rhodium over sterling silver is A, you get the look of a white precious metal. In fact, you get a very expensive, one of the most expensive, as I just mentioned. But it also keeps silver will tarnish, it will oxidize, over the course of time. It's not a huge deal. You can polish it. It's just, you can put a little elbow grease in it every once in a while, about every year or so, depending on how much you wear it. The rhodium overlay is going to give you a very prestigious, it's going to give you the look of platinum. It's also going to keep it from oxidizing and tarnishing as quickly. So you're going to have a very expensive look there. Nice big center stone and elegantly simplistic. 8 on the most hardness scale. Even dudes that work in a trade can wear this. Now, you don't want to be banging around too much, but it's going to take a good licking. It doesn't have the cleavage that a lot of gemstones, say, I don't know, kyanite might have. But kyanite's a little bit more on the cleavage, so you got to be a little bit more gentle with it. The sphalerite. Well, those are two of my favorite gemstones, but not quite as durable. 8 on the most hardness scale, right up there with an emerald. So you've got something very, very everyday wearable. So I like that in a gents ring because I'm rough on jewelry. All right. If there's a halo of anything, of pave, I'm worried. Unless it's, because I'm just the bull in a china shop. And I'm rough on my jewelry. So I like this. I like the bezel setting. I like it all. Back to what I was saying about the bezel setting. With a clearer gemstone, if we're talking about something that's translucent or transparent, then you want as much light to get in as possible. When you're talking about an opaque gemstone with an excellent finish and a nice mirror-like luster, it's all good. I like the bezeling. Why not, right? It's nice and clean. Plus, I don't have to worry about I'm putting on my shirt. I don't have to worry about prongs getting caught and, kind of tugging at a little string or something like that. So it's just super easy. And last thing I'll say about this, you got a nice finished undergallery as well. So it's going to be very, very comfortable on the finger. And that is a nice little upgrade there. We're doing it all for $79.99. Basically, you're going to get $20 off that. It's going to be $59.99 when all the dust settles. Using the code LIVE25. This is shop 6.
3 dozens available between our.
We got 3 dozen available. Right now, we have it in all the sizes. I don't want you to rest on your laurels on this one. I'm going to kind of hard sell you on this one. If you want to get this for Dad, this gets one showing on prime time and then it vanishes. Because Father's Day is coming up, there's going to be a lot of pressure on the gents ring market. People are going to want a gents ring that's affordable. This is very affordable. This is a big, bold look. It's a classy look that even a dude who doesn't like jewelry would like. I think he'd look at this and say, yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. Got a nice cigar-style band, nice wide band. Relatively low profile, not too foo-foo. It's just right. Ladies, jump in on that too.
Definitely a standout piece.
It is. It's fantastic, and I like that. It's got a nice high polish on the silver, and it's one of the few that we have in precious metal. It's a nice heavy ring too. I can't believe this. You would never find this for a penny. I think under $300 to $400 at the retail level. I honestly believe that, but I know. I've just been in the business for close to 15 years, and I've worked at some places that really have fantastic deals. So I know good deals when I see them. I just never. That's one of the cool things about working here. Is that, like, a lot of times I just shake my head. I'm like, how in the what? Impossible.
Now we are at the top of the hour.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a quick reset. I'll give you the Cliff Notes version on since I kind of did a long dissertation on the drawing that we're doing. Basic rundown. Register every single day. ShopLC.com. Ultimate grand prize. Rolex, date just 41. On June 25th, you can register every single day between now and then. Each day, we're going to give away 2 prizes. One of them will constantly be $100 in the Shop LC bucks. The other one will be a random. For example, today it's going to be moissanite in platinum. Tomorrow it could be a laptop. It could be a iPhone, what have you. Fair enough? All right, cool. That's the house cleaning in terms of that. Now, in terms of taking advantage of one of these items that you've seen, you're going to see something that you love today. I have no doubt about that. Black Spinel is one of the most beautiful black gemstones. Luster, all of this, the strength of it rivals that of a diamond. Many people argue that it looks better than a diamond. This is anecdotal. This is from just a lot of emails that we got and that we see on a daily basis. We do sell black diamonds here, so that's a pretty strong argument. That said, you see an item that you like, or you just want to consider it even further. Maybe you came to the presentation a little bit late. You didn't hear what metal it's in. You didn't hear the carat weight, etc., etc. So you will basically do, in this comment section you're seeing right here below me, you're going to put in, we're up to shop 7 now. Correct. The last item we did was shop 6, that gents ring, okay? Next item would be shop 7. If you like gents ring, put it shop 6 in the comments section. Click on that. For everybody except for TikTok, you will get redirected directly to the website. Just don't forget to punch in the code LIVE25. That's going to get you an additional 25% off of what was already going to be a markdown price, more than likely, for this particular show. Caveat emptor, in other words, buyer beware. If you're buying, you need to do it. If you see an item that you're loving here, you need to do it within the next 24 hours. Today, as I speak right now, because you can watch these replays online at shoplc.com. They live in perpetuity, in fact. But these deals are only good for 24 hours. In other words, today is the 24th of May. The 25th, by this time, tomorrow, chances are you'll be SOL on just about every single price. Occasionally we mess up and somebody forgets to click the switch or take off the Live 25 code or bump it back up. But for the most part, they will either bump back up and or more than likely and the Live 25 code will be deactivated. That's all. So you have a 24-hour window to take advantage of this. And we're guaranteed, for the most part, give or take $1 or $2 every once in a while on an occasional item. But for the most part, this is going to be the best way for you to shop at a network that has some of the most amazing prices I've ever seen in my life. Retail, online, otherwise, you name it. Okay? I think that does it for the house cleaning. Real quick, if you do it on TikTok, you're going to do the exact same thing. In the comments section, you're going to put shop whatever the item number is. We're on shop 7 now. Or shop 8.
We are on shop 7.
We're on shop 7.
Option, yes.
We got to pick up the pace, bro.
We are. We got.
Actually, we're doing okay.
Yeah, we got it with this next item that after.
Because a lot of these are twofers, aren't they?
Yes.
It looks like it. Okay, cool. Now, for TikTok, basically you're going to get what's called a SKU number. It's basically just a 7-digit number. It's going to get kicked back to you. Just remember, go to shoplc.com. shoplc.com, and there'll be a search button. It'll be right there. You're super smart. TikTok users are very intelligent. You'll be able to figure it out. No, just put that copy the SKU number that gets kicked back to you when you put shop whatever in that comment section. Our producer, Mr. Elias, is going to send that back to you, and then you just put that, copy and paste that into the search, and that will take you directly to the item. And you'll be able to look at all the information. Most of that I'm going to give you right now throughout the course of the presentation. But again, a lot of you might have showed up late to a presentation. You might have missed out on the carat weight. Like, well, what's the total carat weight there? Is that a real gemstone, or is this a glass? These are all genuine gemstones. We're talking about today, and our business today has predominantly been Black Spinel. It's one of the more underrated gemstones, especially if you watch Shop LC. I think you've probably we spoil you rotten in the category of this gemstone, I think, which is a very rare gemstone, believe it or not. You wouldn't know that from watching Shop LC because we sell it, and we've sold it with such great abundance, and we've sold it for such a great price. It only takes, look no further than for a very high-end luxury retailer, and they're all going to start carrying it because this has now joined the ranks of the August birthstone, along with peridot, okay? What that's going to do is going to drive up a lot of demand because people are going to say, "Look, I don't want to spring for a peridot. I can get this really beautiful Spinel." Now, Spinel has long been a collector's gemstone, been very big among collectors. Comes in a variety of colors. Reds are very, very expensive. Blues are very, very expensive. Very, very rare. But black is too. That being said, it's one of the more affordable of the rainbow of colors. And if you have one, I think, a high-end luxury designer at somewhere like, or a big celebrity. They don't even have to be a big-name designer. It could be some huge celebrity. I don't even want to name names because I don't want to get a cease and desist. Shmariana Fonde. Somebody that rhymes with that. Maybe tomorrow she decides she loves Black Spinel. And she'd look good in Black Spinel, I think. Don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because Black Spinel, look, black gemstones are very sexy on women. I'm going to come out and tell you. They match with just about every color that you decide to wear in your color palette. They're going to go with just about any color because black, white, they go with everything, right? It's my favorite color, black, by the way, so maybe I'm partial, but it's a very sexy gemstone. It's got this wet luster to it, at least ours do. It holds a nice polish. It's got a mirror-like finish. Ours do. Can't speak to everybody else's. But it would take somebody like her, back to the story, and then I'll get off this jag, but somebody like her wants to put her initials and do a little line And it could look just like any of these that you're seeing right here. Maybe the Southwest vibe. Maybe she decides she wants to go to a little Southwest stage. Maybe she does her next movie is probably a Western or something like that. All right, she just came off doing the Schmizzard of Schmaz. You know what I'm talking about now, right? Okay, cool. Now, she's rad. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, cool. But if she put her initials on a branded line, it would be fantastic, I bet, because she's a ball of talent. But it would also, what would that do, you think? Well, it would increase the demand for Black Spinel, which is already kind of stretched pretty thin, right? It has now, seeing as how this is one of the more affordable of the Spinel group, the color, the rainbow of colors. It's an all-natural gemstone, very durable gemstone, and it's joined the ranks of the August birthstones. So it's going to drive up demand. It would just take some celebrity just like her, or some famous jeweler, or the Blue Box store, or you know, one of the big names out there in big jewelry, to run a big line, put a lot of dollars into a marketing campaign, and now guess what's going to happen? That's going to drive up the price. So I think that's probably going to be the future for this gemstone. It's just too beautiful, too classy, and it's abundant enough to where you could do that, but then it's going to drive up the price. So I think that's the only future I can see for it because of the rarity of it, relative rarity. All right, that being said, I'm off my soapbox. You guys ready to see some cool stuff? If anybody has any questions, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, even if you don't buy an item. Even if Black Spinel is not your thing. We do these shows every day at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. I'll be on tomorrow at 2 p.m. We're going to be rocking with some really cool stuff. Always, always. And I'm going to give you a take on it that you probably never heard. Or maybe you have. But it would be cooler coming from me. So there's that. All right, let's look at some more cool stuff. We are at Shop 7 at this point. And what we're going to do now is break out a nice cluster. Now these are, you think cluster, you think pave, you think a little small cluster. This is not that. This is not that. Now, for the purposes of this presentation, I'm probably spoiler alerting, but I'm going to take out that other deal that's set up. This is a nice, kind of got a dog tag feel to it, but it also has, so I think this maybe could work for the gentleman. I mean, yeah, I think so. I kind of dig the other one for the gents, but this one, if you're liking the cluster look, these are not micro pave though. These are large stones. You're talking a total of about 5 carat 10 on the Black Spinel. Now, what I like about this is you've got that really nice high-end luxury designer look with the mixing of the metals here. Now, what you've got is a platinum bond. All right, going to keep it hypoallergenic, antimicrobial, all that good stuff that we associate with platinum. So that's going to be one of the overlays. The other overlay, also hypoallergenic for the most part. Very few people have allergies to what is 75% solid gold. That's going to be your 18 karat gold overlay. So you mix the metals. That's a popular thing among a lot of high-end luxury designers. And I've told the Stambolian story before. I used to sell a lot of this gentleman. There's a Hungarian designer. He was my world famous designer. Did some of the most beautiful work. He would always mix sterling silver with I think 14 karat gold typically. But he made some of the most beautiful pieces. This is very reminiscent of that to me. And don't send a cease and desist, Mr. Stambolian, because I'm giving you a compliment. This very much reminds me of those pieces that you have, which were very much well worth it, that I used to sell, many of. They were on the more expensive side. But once you get your foot in the door with groups like Tiffany and Company, which he was a designer for them, you've reached a pinnacle of success, right? Where you can charge that kind of money. If you're given a signed piece, designer piece, I get it. This very much is reminiscent of that, in my personal opinion. So is that fair to say? Yes, I think so, without getting us any kind of sort of legal trouble. Now, let's give you a measurement here. Give you a little receipt on it. It's not an itty-bitty, teeny, tiny one. We're talking from bell to bottom, about 1.5 inches, a little bit over, okay? From bell to base, as my buddy Lauren made it even sound cooler saying. But that is a good looking pendant. You got a nice finished back gallery. It's got a big bail too, so that's gonna accommodate probably a lot of your big Bali chains. If you got a little thicker chain, maybe like up to probably 4 millimeter on that one.
Now, we did have a comment from Stephen Blair joining us on Facebook. He said he was having issues with the sweepstakes, and I am contacting our team to see if we can assist him with that.
Okay, excellent. Like it. I like that. I like that initiative there, Elias. Do you hear that, Stephen? And how are you, Stephen? I think that's our Stephen, right?
Yes, joining us on
All right.
Facebook.
So having issues with the online with the sweepstakes. Okay. You heard what Elias just said. He's contacting our people. He's going to send out a little something to them, kind of try to figure out if that's a huge issue. Have you tried it like more than once, Stephen? Just curious. What did he say initially? What was his exact word?
He said, last night I tried to register for the sweepstakes. I usually register each day. This time I was told that my phone number and address was already in use. It wouldn't allow me to complete the registration. Any suggestions on who I can talk to about and why?
Well, definitely, that couldn't hurt with customer service, I'm sure. But you know what I suspect it is, Stephen? It could be that maybe if it's done within a 24-hour period, that could be a glitch.
That's what I'm thinking.
That we need to look into, because it should be each day. So if you did it, for example, let's say if you did it at like midnight of last night, but you also did it at 1 o'clock the night, or no, that wouldn't work. So maybe if you did it at 11:30 last night, but you did it at 1 a.m. That morning, perhaps maybe a 24. It was within the same 24-hour period. That's the only thing I can come up with.
Yes,
that's all I got.
I am working on this behind the scenes.
We've got the biggest brains working on this behind the scenes, Stephen. But yeah, that's my 2 cents for what it's worth. Probably not much, but worst case scenario, we're gonna get this figured out for you. And we do love you, brother. It's good to hear from you. I'm glad you're watching. All right, so that's going to be Shop 7. Now, if you get that, we're doing that for $29, by the way. You know what that's going to make that? That's going to basically get that down to like 23 or something.
Yes.
22 and some change. Okay, so you're going to be getting that for 22 and some change. Nice, big, bold look. Very classy, very elegant. Those are not itty-bitty, teeny tiny stones. Those are probably at least half a carat a piece. Remember, it's 5 carat and some change, I think, total weight. Now, if you get that, I've been kind of coy about it here, but like I suggest, whoosh, the matching ring. Yes, indeed. Again, with the 18 karat yellow gold plating. Again, with the platinum bond. Well, that's going to be our personal shopper line.
Yes.
I don't know if that's who we should call about. Well, yeah, they'd probably give him some insights.
Yes, I will give him that.
Yeah, that number couldn't hurt either, Stephen. Try this. This is our personal shopper line. Now, even though it doesn't necessarily have to do with this, with the live stream per se, they have the access to all the same information. So they're just as knowledgeable as, say, the ones that we give you the number on the live TV. So,
can get in with the ring.
So now back to the ring. You're going to have hypoallergenic platinum bond, hypoallergenic 18 karat. It is a Karat piece, so it's going to have the luxury. It's going to have that designer feel to it, which I was just kind of alluding to. It's got very much sort of a vintage or designer feel. You've got these nice sort of fleur-de-lis at the north and south. I dig that. You've got this kind of spade type deal going on the side, which I also like. And what you're getting from that, if we had a side profile of it, what you would see is basically what I think might be a little poppy or like a floral pattern. There you go. There you go. Yeah. I think that's going to be like a floral, sort of like a floral type deal. It's not necessarily fleur-de-lis. Basically a vine type filigree work. Very, very nice, very, very high end. And you do have the finished undergallery on that as well. So I'm liking all of that. Again, very, very classy. Knuckle to knuckle. There's nothing more attractive to me on a female than a knuckle to knuckle ring. I'm just going to show you on my unattractive big hands, but you get the idea. So if it's that big on my hands, it's going to have a big, strong presence. Relatively low profile though, ladies. So it's not going to be, something that's too. I think you could definitely get into some everyday wearability with this one. Again, you've got a stone with a lot of strength as well too. Again, it's about an 8 on the Mohs hardness scale. So in terms of scratch resistance, in terms of very light in the cleavage department. That didn't sound. That doesn't sound right. All right. It's a stone that doesn't have a high cleavage. And it's beautiful. Those are beautifully matched, mated, all calibrated, cut to precision to be precisely the same size. Those are going to be about 6x4s. 6x4s on every single one of those ovals. Let me double check that. I don't want to make a liar out of
we
myself.
do have the quantities on this as well.
We do have the quantities. We have it available in sizes 5. Then, the 9 just sold out. Are you sure we got enough?
Yes, we do.
Okay, cool. So the 9 sold out, but we have it even in a 10 and 11. So if you need the larger sizes, that's going to be available to you. Could you scroll down? I just want to find out the exact. Now, if you got that pendant and you get this one, these are going to be separate. They're not 6x4, so I was right. Good. Just want to make sure I was right on that guesstimate that I made. So they are pretty big ovals. The ovals give you a lot of bang for your buck in terms of real estate. So, big bold look, very classy, very elegant. 10 spinels, total carat weight, 7 carats. That's a lot. All right, I thought it was 5. So, let me see the pendant. Can we go back to the pendant very quickly? Now, if you get one, I want you to grab the other. They're both going to be $29.99, which means you're going to get them both for about $22. So, $44 and some change, give or take $1. And you can get them both. I'm sure, I don't know that we're going to have the budget pay because it's so inexpensive. Was it 7 carats as well on the pendant? I feel like it was 5. Or am I misremembering?
Might have been our previous auction. We're showing 5.1 carats.
Yeah, so it's 5.10, but they're basically the exact same profile, so that's confusing to me. I can't really.
Might be with the band. That's what I'm thinking, or with the chain.
Yeah, but there's not really any other gemstones other than the Black Spinel, so that is slightly confusing to me. Okay, maybe. Okay, well, look. I'm not going to let perfect be the enemy of good. But bottom line is, it's virtually an identical profile. Maybe slightly larger on this one. Yeah, I see. Okay, I kind of see it now. Okay, so 7 versus 5 carat. But basically, for all intents and purposes, you're getting the exact same profile. They match. They were meant to be together. And when you get them both, this comes with a chain, by the way, too. That's a huge upgrade. It does, right? Yeah, 20-inch chain. You're getting them both for $22. Now, you can break that into 2 budget pays, so basically it would be about $11 and some change.
Correct.
So for both of these, you could get them for $22.49, both of them, and just stretch it out in the budget pay. That's still not going to get them to the $50 with the free shipping. We're not going to belabor that point. We're saving you such a ton of money. This is a beautiful piece. If you love it, let's grab those. It's going to be shop 8, shop 9. Fantastic. Really big, thorough, expensive look. Because this is going to be one of those that people are going to think they're going to think it's black diamonds. If they compliment you on your black diamonds, you can stop them in their tracks and be like, well, actually, it's my, or you just let it go. Just say, yeah, appreciate it. Because that's what everybody's going to think. They're going to think it's black diamonds.
Here's our shop 9 with the earrings.
And I would think that too. And I've sold a lot of black diamonds. But because of the luster on this, because it doesn't look like your black onyx. Black onyx, I'm not trying to beat up on black onyx or obsidian. But it's in terms of rarity, definitely a much more rare gemstone. Let's see, black onyx. Well, black onyx quartz, so probably about 7.5. 7.5 quartz typically. So it's gonna be pretty much more durable in terms of scratch resistance than your black onyx. Obsidian, I think, is about 6.5. So yeah, much more durable, closer, to that the pinnacle, which is diamond holds the hardest, 10 on the most hardness scale. Pretty much nothing's going to scratch that except for another diamond. But 8 is very, very strong, relatively speaking. Okay. All right. Now, especially when you're getting all that like mirror-like finish and luster that you get from this, holds a good shine. This next pair, I like the cut of the jib on these. These are a big, bold look. These now are coming in and we're bringing some pop of color. Look, black is my favorite color, but up until this point, we brought you a little bit of gold. We brought you a little bit of a champagne zircon in the eyes of the snake in that killer shop 1, the bracelet that we did. But now I'm liking this, and I made a liar out of myself because I thought These were going to be shepherd's hook. These, in fact, so I said that this other pair were the only ones that we had that had the lever backs. These have lever backs as well. Look, I'm a proud man, but I'm also a humble man sometimes. And I can admit when I'm wrong. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I was wrong here. These have the lever backs. I love the lever backs. Why? They're going to keep those earrings nice and secure. They just lock into place. Super simple. You don't have to worry about it, like with studs, a lot of times you have to worry about the backs and like if they pop out, next thing you know, where's and especially if it's a very expensive gemstone. Why do you think they put the best in the best? A lot of times you see those platinum studs, they'll be the screw backs. Now those are kind of a pain, they take a little bit of time. But don't you want that if you've got an extremely valuable gemstone? So I like the screw backs for studs, right? Which you'll typically find in platinum here. Most of our platinum earrings will have that. But I like the lever back as well, okay? Because of the security that it provides. And I think a lot of ladies do. Now, that being said, these are stunning. It's got also my favorite cut, the round brilliant. Wasteful cut, but beautiful, beautiful symmetry, everything. Statistically, probably one of the most popular.
I did get a response back, and for Steven, it'll have to be the customer service, which I will give him the number.
Customer service is the route to go, Steven. We're going to get that number for you, and he's going to send it over to you right in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. So, what are we talking about here? Well, we got 7 carats total weight. I know you're doing double duty, but I'm going to have you scroll down. We're doing these for $69.99. Spoiler alert. That's incredible. That means you're going to get these for $52 after the code LIVE25. But I wanted to give you, let's see, the Black Spinel, we've got about 5 carats on those. So we're talking 2.5 of that 7 carats. That's going to leave us about 2 carat 6. It's actually 4.92 minimum. So you're getting basically close to 2.5 on each of those Black Spinels. Not itty bitty teeny tiny rounds, BTW. We're talking, that's probably going to be like 8 millimeters. Yeah. All right, at least. Let me give you a receipt on this. We have the time, right? We'll run out of time. We are
at the border of time.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Oh, I do have to pick it up. 5. Yeah, about 7. I'm going to say on the conservative side, just 7 mil. That's 8 millimeters. 8 millimeters on the rounds. Final answer. All right. Now, but 2 carats easily on both of those. 2 carat, probably 40, just to be conservative. Now, you've got 2 carat 6 on the gemstones that accompany them. Among them are citrine, garnet. Two birthstones. We've got November and January with citrine and garnet. Amethyst. There's February. Peridot. There's August. And that's it. So, you've got a rainbow of colors. Peridot, or let's start from January. Garnet, that nice rich rhodolite garnet. Going to give you a nice red sheen. Give you the look of probably a ruby meets a little raspberry. All right? Then February, you've got that beautiful Concord grape in those gemstones. Nice rounds as well. All right, moving on around the line. You've got that golden rich citrine. Very, very nice on those. Those are beautiful rounds as well. Then you've got the the nice sort of electric lime green. Probably more than likely maybe that Arizona material from the Peridot, the really good stuff. So that's a nice August birthstone, and that's going to do it. And then I should probably done citrine if I was doing chronologically, because citrine would have been in your November. But a lot of color. A lot of life. I love that. It's so beautiful, and it's very luxurious. This looks like something you would see in the showroom of the very expensive medium to high-end luxury retailer de jour X, Y, or Z. It looks like something that they would have sitting in the showroom. They have a bunch of foliage or some nice stuff around it, and there'd be a little window deal, maybe on Manhattan, down in Times Square kind of scenario. Rodeo Drive. That place that kicked the pretty woman, Julia Roberts out in the movie on Rodeo Drive. the stuck-up chicks on Rodeo. Have you ever seen that movie? Yeah. It's cute. It holds up pretty well. It's a good chick flick. You guys like Pretty Woman? Yeah? Put Put homegirl on the map. Julia Roberts. It's a bona fide star after that. She's great. Now, if you love those, we will be doing those for $69. Again, you get those for $52. We have a $13 budget pay. I want you to utilize the budget pay. If you're not wanting to spend a ton of money, get these home. You will not return them. With everything I've shown you thus far, there's not been one clearance item, has there? Answer no.
Nope.
All right. You've got a 30-day inspection period. If you can beat the price that I'm giving you on any of them, I want you to return it. But here's the thing. I don't think you beat it. And I don't think you want to return it when you get it home either, because I think you're going to fall in love with these pieces. They're actually, this is it's not producer's fault. It's nobody's fault. This is a crude way to show it. But I think if you get these home, you've got the 30-day inspection period, so you're risking virtually nothing. They're nothing I've shown you thus far has been over $100, has it? Answer no. So they're all wildly affordable if you're wanting to give them as gifts too. I want you to think about that. People in your orbit, and you want to give them a beautiful piece of jewelry. This is luxury designer. It just doesn't have initials on it, so you're not having to pay a small fortune for it. Now, the ring, we're going to be doing the ring for even less.
Yes.
How
it's going to be shop 11.
I don't know why world of sports are we doing this for $59.99. So you're getting the earrings were $69, right? So those are going to be $52. Now this is going to be shop 11.
Shop 10 on the pendant and then shop 11 on the ring.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so shop 10 on the pendant,
yes.
11 on the ring,
and then shop 9 on the earrings.
Shop 9 on the earrings. Now, I can just give them but you're gonna get all you gotta get all three of these, right?
They can bundle it.
I'm not gonna insist. I'm just gonna I'm gonna strongly and persuasively suggest if you get one of these, do yourself a huge favor. You gotta get them. These are all meant to be together. They belong together. Let them find their home together. Look, with the budget pay, these have budget pay on this, presumably.
Yes.
Right now, I'm looking at $161 get you all three of these. Shop 10, 11, 12. That's virtually the identical profile of the pendant, which is to say, go back. I'm sorry, I didn't quite get it. Which is to say 4 carat 67 on your center stone. So presumably, give or take, maybe 50 points at the most. It's still a big old biggin. Nice bezel set too on the oval. So that's going to be virtually identical profile as the pendant, right? Ever so slightly smaller with the earrings because we condensed that oval down into a round, and then we divided that by 2. But still a big, bold look on those as well, right? To be sure. Just to give you an idea of scale there next to my big head. Did you get the picture? Those are lovely. It's going to be about an inch from top to bottom, too. Actually, a little bit more, an inch and a quarter. All right, we'll leave your backs, too. Remember that. Now, we've got all of this is going to be an 18-karat yellow gold plating. You got the platinum bond as well. You've got the finished undergallery. You got that nice bird cage sort of frame there as well. Very high-end, very classic, luxurious, relatively low profile as well. I love the bezel setting. Going to keep that center stone nice and protected. Look at that mirror-like finish. You can almost do your makeup. You can check your lipstick in that mirror-like luster and finish that you get from Black Spinel. Now, that said, all together you will end up getting, if you get all three, one of those spaces, you're going to end up getting 15% off. If you just want to get 2, maybe you just want to grab the earrings, maybe you're not crazy about the ring, or vice versa. You're not crazy about the earrings, but you like the pendant and you like the ring. It's your call. But these are all three meant to be together. I think you should definitely highly consider getting all three of them. If it's a price deal with the 15% off and the live 25 code, what's that going to end up being? Because we got the 161 there, but that doesn't account for the 25% off code as well. So let me give you the total here in just a second. I appreciate you doing that for me there, brother. Because this is important. Because I like this. This is unlike a lot of the other. Actually, we have that one with the.
Here's the price.
That one with Sleeping Beauty coming up in just a second too, folks, which I'm really bullish on. It'd be about $121. Okay, I've got to assume there's probably a 3, maybe a 2 budget pay, 4 budget pay. Yes. So $121. You can break that into 4 payments. Do that math.
There you go.
Basically $30 and 25 cents. And you can get all three of these home. If you're not in love with one of them, you're not in love with any of them, send them all back. We'll give you your $30 and 25 cents back. As long as you do it within a 30-day period. You have a 30-day inspection period. That's not going to happen, though. On the off chance, it might happen, 1 out of 100, but we don't think we even have 100 of these to go around. So, not of all three. Get them while you can get this ring in your size. That's going to be the key here. If you love the ring, the ring. Typically, the ring's going to be the linchpin, folks. That's going to be the one that most people, if they're going to have their druthers between all three items, the one they're going to typically get is the ring. I don't know why, but just statistically, it holds the most sway. All right, and that ring is only $59.99. It'll end up being, what was it, 52 or 44 or something. It's wild. Now, if you get all three of those, you're definitely going to get the free shipping as well. You're going to get a big, bold cocktail ring there. Just to give you an idea of scale, I got very big hands and a very big head, but you get the picture. And it's going to look a lot more beautiful on you, ladies, than it does on me, for sure. But you get the picture. I just want to give you guys an idea of scale, but that is a winner, 110%. Absolutely gorgeous. And you get the total package for basically $121. It's not a good deal. It's a fantastic deal. We got to move on. Shop 10, the earrings.
Shop 9 on the earrings. Shop 10 on the pendant.
9, 10, 11. We're moving. Awesome. I love that look. Those are really cool. That's going to have the most color of any of the items that we're going to give you. Save the what looks like Sleeping Beauty.
And we're going to actually come in with our other sweet option.
Let's do it. We also got this cool snake ring. It's stupendous.
You're the snake.
Oh, you're going to do that right now?
Yes, we can do this.
Oh, is that next? Or no, whatever you had planned.
Yes, we have the earrings next.
Let's do the earrings. I like it. Because this is one I definitely don't want to not do this week. Because this is probably, well, for what it's worth, this is my jam.
Same here.
This is my jam. I like that Southwest vibe. You kind of got that Native American vibe to it. It's all, it just works for me. You got the knuckle to knuckle. You've got the past, present, and future. It checks so many boxes, this one does. You've got that sexy pear shape at either end of this. First off, there's nothing more attractive to me than a lady with a knuckle-to-knuckle ring. It's a hot look. You add to that this marquise shape, this almost like sort of diamond-like shape that the whole thing takes. You add to that the sexiness of the sort of Southwest vibe that comes in. And this is undeniable. This one is strong. Not only that, you get, and how gorgeous does Black Spinel, this is my favorite. Yeah, I think this is going to happen. Why don't you copy me, dude?
Pick of the show.
It was your favorite before it was my favorite, though, wasn't it? So I'm copying you, I guess.
Yeah, this is actually my pick of the show.
This is, I love it too, dude. I'm totally with you. Holy smoke, is this is a really strong sweet. And we've shown you some strong stuff. You gotta be honest. This, holy smoke, how cool is that? We're starting with the earrings, so they're going to be shop 12, right? 9,
right.
10, 11.
That is right.
The earrings are going to be shop 12. You're getting virtually the identical profile, at least on the pendant and the ring. You're noticing the theme here, right? Usually your pendant, your ring, going to have a virtually identical profile. Give or take a couple points here or there, right? But the earrings, slightly smaller, but these are no shrinking violets. These are not itty bitty teeny tiny. Now, they do have the shepherd's hook, no big deal. We cinch that back, and you're good to go. But just to give you an idea here, sorry, my nose is running. This is my right nostril, so I'm going to be off camera handling that. But look, to give you an idea of scale, these are gorgeous. You've got Sleeping Beauty turquoise. Now, here's the Cliff Notes version. For those of you who know, bear with me and get these. Go ahead and put in the order for these because these are money. All right, they're going to be about just shy of 2 inches, about 1 3/4 inches from top to bottom. Let me give you a receipt on that. Sleeping Beauty. All right, here's the rundown. Globe, Arizona, I do believe. Shut down about 2012, 2013, thereabouts. Still did a little bit of copper mining afterward. But for the most part, no more Sleeping Beauty coming out. Just not cost effective. These are actually 2 inches from top to bottom. I was wrong. Even better. They're not quite shoulder sleepers. They definitely have a strong presence. That's just right. That's a just right dangle. It's going to have that strong presence. Again, the 3-stone trilogy, past, present, future, perfect as an anniversary gift. But you add to that 4 bezel set, extremely rare, extremely valuable, becoming more valuable by the day, Sleeping Beauty. We have our own vendors trying to buy back our Sleeping Beauty from us that they sold it to us. That's at a markup. So I'm told. I mean, that doesn't happen every day. What does that say to you? Well, it says to me, A, you're not going to be seeing Sleeping Beauty as much. If you're lucky, you'll get small accent stones. And you'll like it. And I do like this. Now, I don't say that to be rude. I'm just saying what the future of it is yes, we, I think, are still going to bring you maybe some fresh new pieces with some itty-bitty rough. But the days of having the hours and the several hours of Sleeping Beauty, those days are probably long gone. I don't think our days of giving you new jewelry in Sleeping Beauty are. I just think there's going to be a huge markup to it going forward. This is not a huge markup. This is one of the most beautiful. I just never have. I guess I have seen it before, but that black and the contrast with that beautiful robin's egg blue, it just works on so many levels. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, see, a turquoise color, it's like a blue-green color. Now this is more the green-blue, because your predominant color is going to be the blue. The robin's egg blue, that's the ideal, and that's what this looks like. You got 4 little itty-bitty robin's eggs. Nice little cap shot. It's not teeny tiny, but they're good size. But you've got an excellent design on these too. Look at the detail in that rope-like finish. Look at the nice fleur-de-lis at your east and west, at your north and south. I love the pointing. The very what is typically a very feminine gemstone or cut, a fancy cut, is going to be your pear shape. I love it. I love it on the ladies. I even like it for the gents in like a gents ring, you put it in a bezel setting or something like that. But I love the fact that those are both pointing outward, giving it a nice, elongated, and a very slimming effect that it's going to have on both your face silhouette and your finger when you get the ring. And you have to get both of these. You have to get all of them.
Yes, here is
the ring we're doing for $59. The earrings we just did for $59. Is that correct?
69 on the earrings.
69 on the earrings, okay? So a little bit larger profile on the earrings. Not as large each individual, but you get the picture, right? Because you're still getting that big face. It's just going to be slightly more in the carat weight. So it's natural. They typically are going to be more.
Shop 12 on the earrings.
Shop what?
Shop 12 on the earrings and shop 13 on the ring we're about to do.
12 on the earrings and shop 13 on the ring. So I've got to assume on those earrings, the earrings are 7 carat 25. The ring is going to be 5 carat
yes.
70. So very, very similar, just a slight bit more in terms of the carat weight. Thus the added couple extra dollars for the earrings. Now, the ring. Whew. I mean, it's virtually the identical profile, but just a little bit more in terms of the spinel. But I gotta tell you, this it has Southwest, it has vintage. It's a little bit of the best of all worlds. Whoever did this in our design team, gosh, hats off, man. This is a slam dunk. Now, it doesn't have the finished under gallery. I'm not mad at that. Okay, take a look. Because I just had this on my finger for however long. It feels very, very comfortable because of how this portion of it just hugs. It goes to the contours of your finger. You got the nice slope there. So I don't have to have that finished under gallery. In fact, I kind of want, I'm not mad at it because I can get underneath and sort of clean underneath those and blow it out. Just be gentle blowing out underneath those turquoise. You don't want to lose those stones. Those are very valuable. 4 stones. They're not the biggest stones, but those are very valuable. That's a very rare gemstone. It's to use an analogy. If well, hell, everything's not that endangered anymore. We got more tigers in Texas than we do anywhere. I was about to say the tiger, Well, no, the bison. No, we got more bison now. All of our endangered species, we brought them back. Panda bear, all right? Pandas, because they don't want to mate. All right, so a panda bear. This is an endangered species. It's not extinct, right? It's not a saber tooth, even though they're bringing those back too. Or got a woolly mammoth. You know what I heard last night? They got a dire wolf. They've already got those.
I heard about that.
Yeah, a dire wolf. You know what that is? It's a huge wolf, as if wolves weren't big enough. We got miniature. I saw a miniature wolf the other day. They're called coyotes. It's a miniature wolf. And wolves are pretty big, but a dire wolf's like twice the size of a regular wolf. What could go wrong? All right, but anyway, I digress. That said, these are an endangered species, to use a better analogy. They're fantastic, all right? But they are endangered. Much like tanzanite. It's becoming an endangered species, so you're seeing price spikes, that's all. I'll say all that to say that there's going to be price spikes. But at $59.99 on that ring, are you kidding me? You end up getting it for, wait for it, drum roll please. This is a sexy ring, ladies. Get this, guys. Get this for your special lady. Get it for your sister, your mom. It's a good looking ring. $44.99. Platinum bond, so it's going to be hypoallergenic. Beautiful design work on that. It looks expensive. Gosh, it should be expensive. I mean, this should easily be $300. As it stands, everything about it just screams $500, really. The platinum bond, gosh, that's in terms of perceived value, that platinum overlay, that's going to definitely give you a very, very expensive look. And we brought you the earrings. Now, if you get both of those, you're going to get an additional 10% off. But wait, there's more.
Yes, we're going to come in with the pendant. Pendant only, no chain included.
Pendant, no chain. Not going to give you the chain. That's okay. I'm not mad at that. Again, pendant, probably going to be $59. Yep, same as the ring.
Correct.
Virtually the identical profile, give or take. So this has got 5 karat 60. This has 5 karat 60. This is, so where are we at? 12, 13, and shop 14. Is that correct?
Yes.
Correctamundo.
13 on the ring, 14 on the pendant.
13, 14. Yeah. So 12, 13, 14. Doesn't matter, because when you get redirected to Shop LC, no matter which one you go to, you'll see that. Are they all? Do we have enough availability?
Yes, we have the quantities on all 3 of them.
Excellent. The detail on this is just stellar. Yeah, if you get one, get all 3 of these, folks. Come on, do yourself a huge, huge favor. All right, so what we're talking about, you've got the 2 Spinels. Those are going to be 2 karat 83 between that and that. Okay, ditto that for the exact same profile, give or take a point or two with the pendant. All right, we're talking about the pendant now in particular, but it doesn't matter because those are the exact same profile. All right, both have 5 karat 60. Then you've got 2 karat 32 on your center stone. So 2 karat 32 on that center stone. That is not itty bitty teeny tiny. That's a nice substantial size. It's not ostentatious. It's not gaudy. It's got class, sophistication, relatively low profile, everyday wearability with the durability of that gem. Be a little bit careful. Now, hopefully you have the Zachary treatment. I'm assuming you probably do on those Sleeping Beauty. But those are look, they're smaller accenting stones. But that's going to prove to be a very valuable stone. It already is. It's probably in the top 5 of the most expensive. I mean, there's some very collectible, like extraordinarily rare finds, like little small pockets of certain turquoise. But I'm just saying, as a general rule, Sleeping Beauty is way up there in terms of price per carat, in terms of being one of the more expensive. Very much like the Iranian. The Iranians had a little bit more in the green. It was more of a blue-green, I think. But it didn't have the veining like the Sleeping Beauty. So it was very similar in that respect. If it did have veining, it was just a very mild little bit of white veining that you could barely see. That's one of the things that makes Sleeping Beauty turquoise a standout. Is you do with most turquoise, you're going to have sort of some veining, right? Some matrixing, as they call it sometimes, and it can be composed of different, it can be traces amounts of iron, or it can be copper, and certain, depending on it. Sometimes that adds a lot of value, and sometimes it's cool. But the cool thing about Sleeping Beauty is you do get that pristine, typically, with a really good material, and it's going to have a nice, rich robin's egg blue. Very valuable. All right, now, that said, we got to move on. This is going to be an amazing lineup. You get 15% off on top of the already 25% off, which you're getting with the code LIFE25. Don't forget that code in the promo code section. All right? So
let us jump into our
12, 13, 14. Shop. 12, 13, 14. Just put one of them down there, and then you'll be able to click on the others. You'll be able to go ahead and add them all to your cart. If you have any issues, any problems doing that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to encourage you to call our personal shopper. There's the number. Save that in your phone. This is not the one I give you on television. This is the one that's exclusive to the live stream. By the way, I've got a Tuesday show that I've been doing with the wonderful Deanna, and we will be doing that as I think normally scheduled for Tuesday. It's going to be from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's going to be on Tuesday, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I still have 2 p.m. tomorrow that I'm coming to you guys with. We're going to have some fantastic items under 300, including some really, really cool green onyx pieces that are going to be coming your way. They're going to be very affordable, but we've got a couple surprises I'm trying to get added to the show as well. Now, that number, 888-835-2237, should you encounter any issues whatsoever, that's going to be a good number to have saved in your phone. All right, a live human being on the other line. If I've gone too fast on something, if I've somehow confused you, which is very probable, I get excited with these. I was very little sleep. I worked this morning on the TV side of things. We crushed it. Thank you all. If you watched those, I appreciate you all. And I know you guys are enjoying this show too, because Delirious makes for a funner show, I think. Now, that means, this is a bit for that. But this is fun. Now, this next piece, speaking of fun, if you love that last piece, I think a snake, well, it's universal, but I think this could be worn in conjunction with, because it is going to give you kind of that knuckle to knuckle. Remember, I think that's a hot look. Ladies, any which way you cut it, that's a good look. The snake, of course, dangerous, sexy, but, snakes got a kind of bad rap, Old Testament, that kind of thing. But snakes also, think about it, when you see the symbol for emergency services, what do you see? In the cross, you see a lot of times it's a staff. Now there's a history behind that, yeah. So it's not necessarily the doom and gloom, the negativity. Snake also a symbol of strength, a symbol of overcoming adversity. It'd be a bummer not to have any legs, right? But you learn, you weave, you bob, and this is a very, very sexy look. Now, it's got a lot of nice round cuts here. Now, they ultimately culminate and they ultimately crescendo to that nice head. This one is diamond. So if this was a real snake, we wouldn't want to hang out with it too much, right? I think the diamond head, if it's got a diamond head, typically that means it's a poisonous one. Except for in the case of the coral snake, one of the most poisonous. In that case, they say, I forget what it is. I'm not going to try to figure that out. Not when I can tell you about this being $39.99, and when that's a nice round number for me to figure out the Live 25 code. Basically, you're going to get this for $29.
That is correct.
$29, ladies and gentlemen. Again, you've got the platinum bond. What is that going to do for you? Well, more than likely, you're probably going to have either a brass or copper underlayment. That's okay. I'm fine with that, especially if it's the copper, because that's good for arthritis and things like that. But with our Cares pieces, that's usually the deal. Now, that doesn't say, well, this is going to turn my skin green. No, not necessarily, because we've got the platinum bond on it. What that's going to do is provide a hypoallergenic antimicrobial layer between the two. And make it look very, very expensive, because it is a very expensive, not only precious metal, but noble metal. In other words, you don't have to worry about it tarnishing or oxidizing as quickly as, say, another precious metal, i.e. sterling silver, which is a beautiful thing too, very rare metal. But platinum, one of the rarest. So that platinum bond, I'm very bullish on. And the fact that we have this at a $9 budget pay. So if you get it home, you're not in love with it, send it back. We'll give you your $9 back. It's actually $9.99, so $10. Let's round that up. You're not going to send this back. It's a fantastic look. Look at that. Actually, dudes, I wouldn't be mad at you. And ladies, I wouldn't be mad at you if you wanted to get the smaller one and wear it kind of up on the finger like I have it. I just have it because we don't have the larger size, and I got big hands, but this is size 7, I think. But ladies, if you want to get a smaller size and kind of wear it like on this portion of the finger, that's not a bad look. And I think it's a very kind of trendy and very cool.
Now,
it stays nice and secure. It feels
we are
nice.
sold out on the size 5, but we have a bill over it, so if you get that back in stock,
dude, bless you, bless me.
will be available. And we have sizes 6 through 10. Those are going to be our following sizes.
Size is what?
6 through 10.
Okay, so we don't have the 5.
Yes,
I can live with that.
And if they have any personal issues or issues with their order, they could call our personal shopper.
Okay, I like it.
Throw that in the
Thank you,
background.
Now, something I did not mention, and I'm just kind of noticing this. Shame on me, because I looked at this before the show and I was like in awe, because this is a cool vibe. Got a great use of the negative space. It's got a nice elongated look on the hand. I've got really big hands. But what I didn't notice is you've got these white zircon. Let's not confuse those ever with zirconia. Not that there's anything wrong with zirconia. I saw a lot of zirconias on my Friday show. We do on the 10 and Under show. It gives you a lot of sparkle. But zircon, one of the oldest gemstones, thought to be about as old as the Earth, which is, most scientists put around 4 billion plus years old, right along with the universe, apparently Big Bang, you know. But this is a doubly refractive gemstone. I love it. It's so subtle that I didn't notice it originally. And I'm seeing it now, and I'm loving it now. So they put these very nice micropave, one on either side of the eyes. You've got the eyes of Black Spinel. We put one in the nose, and then 2 back here. A little bit more substantial on those 2, right? Just slightly graduated down to the bottom of the tail. Why is that important? That's just a sign of very, very good designer prowess, quite frankly. I mean, that looks luxurious. The little things matter. And this definitely tackles those. So I'm loving it for that point. And I'm loving the fact that it's $29. Getting the look of black diamonds. And white diamonds, by the way, with those white zircon. All genuine, all natural earth mine gemstones. And pretty good, substantial amount of them, too. Let's move on, because I don't want to run out of time. Oh, gosh, we're almost out of time.
It's going to be our shop 15. We're going to jump into our necklace next. It's going to be shop 16.
And if we have to forego the last one, I'm fine with that. As much as I love it. Well, oh, no, we got to get to that. Oh, so it's got some nice diamond looks. Now, I think we can make this work. Okay, I'm just going to have to kind of speed it a little bit. So forgive me, folks. It's not lack of respect or that I don't care for these, especially this one, which is going to give you probably one of the most expensive looks of anything that we've given you thus far, because this, ladies and gentlemen, is going to have that very, very nice, what we're going to say gold tone, or is that going to be 18 karat yellow gold plating. Are you kidding me? And that looks high-end luxury. Notice the 2 panthers. Remind you of anything? Yes, one of your many of your, they all kind of jumped on the bandwagon. But once upon a time, many years back, one of the very, very high-end names in luxury, most of you know the name, and I'm not going to say it just because I don't want to get a cease and desist, came out with this design. It's been mimicked many times over with and a couple others, but one thing that has in common, anytime it's been mimicked or been duplicated or been sort of, I guess, flattered, for lack of a better word, by people sort of copying it, because obviously imitation is the most sincerest form of flattery, right? It means you've done something right. But we've done that, and we've taken it to the next level, if you ask me, because you've got the really detailed work in each one of these. You've got the stones. You've got these big cushions, all matched, mated, and calibrated. If you could see this go on forever, which you can see right here, those all matched, mated, calibrated. Those all matched, mated, calibrated. Those are all large enough to be their own solitaire ring. Now, that comes to this beautiful crescendo with the 2 gatekeepers there. Those beautiful, we'll call them pumas or jaguars. Then we've got this beautiful pear-shaped cabochon down here. Perfect way to end this robust and what looks like, quite frankly, that has the look. I'm just talking about perceived value, just the look of it at first glance. If I see this, and even if I sit there and look at it for a little bit, I'd almost have to break out the jeweler's loop to say this is not a $5,000 to $6,000 piece. It has that look. You've got the 18 karat gold plating, rich and buttery. That's 75% solid gold in terms of your plating. Hypoallergenic as well, by the way. Though that goes all the way around. You do have a couple jump rings, so you're going to have a little bit of versatility in terms of this one. It can be 18 up to 20 inches, okay? And that's all going to be, so you get the whole thing because it's attached. This is a necklace. This is not a necklace. This is an event. I think this is how are we doing this for $69? You get it for $52.
Correct.
You get it for $52. You got a $23 budget pay. That's going to end up being less than $20. I love that this is 50. I like that this is over 50. That's actually the perfect price. 69, getting it down to 52, because now we're just over that threshold, so we're not having to pay the $3.99 or whatever it is for shipping. I don't know why that's such a sticking point to me. It's not that big of a deal, quite frankly. But I like the free shipping. What can I say? We're saving you a ton of money. That looks expensive. I think that is probably, between that one and the Sleeping Beauty, you've got one of the most expensive looks in this one. It's a really, really, that's a cool piece. I think you dress this up. I think you wear this, you can wear it with jeans and just a nice blouse, I think. But you definitely dress this one up because it looks expensive. Now, those are going to be white zircon. Again, not cubic zirconia. That's a doubly refractive gemstone, often stunt doubles for a diamond. Very durable as well. About a 7, 7.5 on the most hardness scale with the zircons as well. So we're going to move on. That's amazing. Do we have enough to go around? Please say yes.
Yes, we do. We have
excellent. All right, cool. Get this one, folks. Everything we've shown you has been under $100. There's no good excuse, if you love any of these items, ladies and gentlemen, not to take advantage of at least 2 of them, at least 3 of them, maybe.
That was shop 16.
So that last one was shop 16. That's an important one. That's unlike just about anything we've shown.
And here is
today.
Shop 17 and 18. We're going to do the ring at 17 and 18 on the pendant.
All right, so 17 and 18 on, respectively, the ring and the pendant. Now, the reason why I like this one, you want to talk about, we're calling this is the Midnight Majesty ring. It's got a platinum bond, much like what we've shown you already. Difference being, do you notice something very different about this? Well, you've got that beautiful, really elongated oval, which you don't see very often. That's going to have a nice slimming effect. It's going to give you a big cocktail ring look, relatively low profile. I like that for a multitude of reasons because it gives it an everyday wearability factor. But also, notice something here. There's a plethora of white zircon, and they are very, very strategically placed here in this beautiful channel setting. You've got sort of a past, present, and future in those baguettes. They look like diamonds. They are icy. You get the look, basically, of an SI, probably G color. So just slightly, I'd say probably near colorless, if I had to just kind of get a general look at first glance, right? Because baguettes will show everything. So the fact that these are that clean, I'm just being on the conservative side. You're getting the look, say, right? And this is a very enlarged photo. So those are eye clean, super duper clean. So probably SI. You know, if we're giving it kind of a diamond grading. For the purposes of this presentation, I'm just doing that. But then you've also got this mill grading surrounding there. Now, that kind of gives you a look of micro pave diamonds. But look, if you get up close on it, that's not going to fool anybody. It's just an added bonus in terms of the design work. But you go down a little further, and what did I do with it? I just set it down somewhere. It's on my finger. Here we go. And you've got micro pave white zircons, very much giving you the look in sort of a buckle style. So you got a really cool buckle style. It looks expensive, in other words. We're doing this for $59.99. This is going to give you that more dressed up look. If you're wanting that ring that people think is probably, you know, this would be probably an $8,000 black, if it feels, all right, look, for the purposes. If this is in platinum, which you're getting the look of that because you have the platinum bond, yes? If it's diamonds, a lot more expensive than white zircon, but again, all natural gemstone, genuine gemstone with the white zircon. Gives you the exact look, in my personal opinion. And this gives you very much the look. Although many people argue that it's not as good looking, or the black diamonds aren't as good looking because they don't have this like mirror, like this wet, almost wet finish to it. 8 on the most hardness scale. So, all right. So, for all intents and purposes, you're getting the look of a black diamond. You're getting the look of a white diamond with a white zircon, and you're getting the look of platinum because you got the platinum bond. If all those 3 things are true in this exact same design, well, yes, then we're having. Because that center stone's a 4 carat 10, by the way. That's a 4 carat 10 black diamond. Yes, we're having probably a $7,000 to $8,000 conversation. The ring absolutely looks designer chic. You cannot argue that. And don't try, because I'll hear none of it. It looks luxurious. It's a classic designer chic. This buckle style that you're getting on that. That's a hot look. Got a slimming effect with that elongated oval. Now, ditto everything I just said, but maybe with about half the white zircon in terms of the matching piece. Now, get them both. You're going to get an additional 10% off. So we're doing this ring. Ultimately, when the dust settles on that, it'll be $44 instead of the $59. Presumably, we're doing the pendant. Actually, the pendant's going to be even less. That's $49. So that one's going to be probably, I don't know, 30.
Calculate that real quick.
Probably 39.
It might be 35.
35, yeah, something about thereabouts. 36 and some change. Place your bets. Place your bets. I'm not a mathematician.
Here we go.
Clearly.
37.
37. We're both wrong. All right, so 37 on the pendant, 44 on the ring. If you want to buy them outright, it's going to be 70 and some change. But wait, there's more. If you get both of these, in addition to that Live 25 code, which got the pendant down to 37 and the ring down to 44 from 59 and 49 respectively because of the Live 25 code. So in addition to that, we're going to give you an additional 10% off when you get both of these together. Why would you not? Definitely want to get the magic pendant. That's classy. That's elegant. It's going to make it the look all the more sophisticated when you have those matching pieces that were meant to be together. Won't you give them a home together? Also have the budget pay. Factor that in. You're going to get both of these probably for around $20 when all the dust settles. Between the 10% and the 3 budget pays of $20, it's super wildly affordable, and it looks very, very expensive. Perceived value, $3,000 to $5,000, $6,000. Actual value, gosh, $300 easily.
Here's your pricing.
So, I mean, that's wild. Ultimately, the total, is that after everything?
Yes, that's what.
All the dust settles. You get the 25% off code Live 25, don't forget. And these are 16 and 17, right?
Yes. Or 18 and 17.
17 and 18 respectively. Doesn't matter which one because you're going to have access to the other one when you go to the website there. Enough to go around in terms of the sizing?
Yes, on both.
Beautiful. All right, so I'm comfortable that we're going to have enough for the purposes of this presentation. Keep in mind, these prices are all going to be locked in for 24 hours. 24.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yeah, you said it right.
Excellent. Now, that being said, when all the dust settles and the 10% off, you get both of these for $74.23. You cannot look at either one of these and think, well.
And we're going to give them 3 budget pays of $24 again.
3 budget pays of $24. $24 gets them both home. Why would you not? Look, if you don't like it, that's one thing. It's wrong-headed. I disagree. I think it's amazing. But if you love this, or if you're like mildly intrigued, all right, get it home. I'm telling you, almost everything I've shown you today, I'm not the greatest presenter. I'm jerky, I'm fast. This is a crude way of doing it, right? We don't have all the production things and accoutrements that we have with, say, the live television. It's just me dancing around, acting crazy. But one of the things I can tell you is pretty consistent, is that these items typically show better than I'm able to show you because I'm terrible at showing it to you. Or when you get it up close, the hand's a little shaky. If it's ever so slightly shaky, then it's going to look like, super shaky for you guys. So, look, if there's even a question, I want you guys to get this home. If you can afford it, get it home, utilize the budget pay. There's 0 credit checks, 0 interest payments, or call a personal shopper, and they can explain it to you better than perhaps I have because we've been a little bit rushed here, especially at the end because I wanted to get to everything. We got to everything, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
It's a beautiful thing. I've got to say goodbye, though. That's my time, but I want to say thank you so much, everybody, for watching. In the closing moments, if you would still please, and I should have told you to do this earlier, like us, share us, heart on TikTok and what have you. You guys, if you missed any part of this, you can always go back and check. We had the wonderful Emily in this morning. I think she had a great lineup for you. You can go back and watch those replays at shoplc.com. I got to say goodbye. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Don't forget, Emily's coming up at 10 a.m. tomorrow. God bless you. Cheers.
All right, let me bring this down. Give it a second. We're still on.
That last dude has a finished undergallery too.
I'm stuck between the Sleeping Beauty and then the men's.
Dude, you gotta get that gents ring, man. That's sterling silver too.
Yeah, the men's ring looks really nice.
It's a big stone too. Bezel set. It's classy. It's not too foo-foo. I love it.
I need to figure out to see how much it'd come out with our.
This is like $59 for the gents ring.
Yeah, I think so.